Good morning. This is April the 7th, Sunday, 2025, and we are in BBIS second semester compulsory English class. Let me flip the camera screen. So, in the previous class, we were reading Priscilla Long's essay titled On Happiness. And as we can see, Priscilla talks about the American scenario. If you read the essay, you should be aware that the author is addressing American readers. And she is talking about happiness in America. And overall impression that we get reading the essay is that today Americans are not happy, right? So what I did at home, just to tell you how to read, so while I was preparing for your class last night, I once again read the essay, last evening. And what I did was that these numbers you will see, they represent paragraph numbers. Right? For example, you can see I've numbered the paragraphs like 1, 2, 3. Right? Throughout the essay I've numbered all paragraphs. And then what I would do, I would read a paragraph. I would read a paragraph and I would try to find out the main idea of the paragraph or what the writer is trying to say in this paragraph. And then in my Word file, I will write the main idea. Like in paragraph 1, the main idea is we live in grim times. We live in difficult times. Paragraph 2, she puts a question. There is a single line paragraph. The question is happiness possible? And the two questions, I've made them in one sentence. Paragraph 2 has two sentences. I made it one because I tried to make it a single sentence summary of the paragraph. So is happiness possible and should we wish for it? And if you read the essay, she shows that happiness is possible and we should wish for it. And she shows what can make us happy. Then in paragraph, she puts a third question. What is happiness? How do we understand happiness? And can happiness be defined? And in that third paragraph, if you see, she answers in detail this question. What is happiness? For example, look here. Is it this? She answers, right? Okay. Fourth paragraph. She tells what makes her happy. For example, she says, I feel happy if I wake up early and then brew a cup of coffee and open my journal and write down my journal early morning. That is what makes me happy. Then in paragraph 5, she brings her first authority. Because essays are best examples of academic writing, and argumentative essays are the perfect examples of academic writing. In argumentative essays, writers bring support to back up their ideas. Writers bring support to back up their ideas. यसरी नबस ल, बारम्बार सिकाएँ मैले पढाउँदा यसरी नबस, कसरी बस, हातमा कलम समाएर बस, अगाडि कपी खोलेर बस, किताब खोलेर बस, मैले भनेको कुरा सुनेर सार्दै जाऊ। तिमीहरूमा त्यो कल्चरै छैन, धेरैजनामा छैन, किन त्यो सिकेरै आएको छैन। सानैबाट के सिकेर आएछ, टिचरले बक 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 गर्ने, उसले तिमीहरूले यताबाट सुने यताबाट उडाउने, त्यही कल्चरबाट आएको छ नि त नेपाली एजुकेसन। मैले के सिकाइरहेको छु, यो लेक्चर बेस्ड क्लास हो। आई विल बी लेक्चरिङ प्राइमरली। The classes here will be teacher centered. The classes over there will be learner centered. I have decided. So when I am teacher centered, your job is you listen to me very carefully, actively, understand what I am saying, and make notes in a note copy based on my lecture. Right? Decide what is important from my class. यदि बेर मैले गाली गरेँ नि सार्नु परेन नि त, यो त म रिसाएर बोले हो, किन सार्ने, राइट? यो सार्नु पर्यो, यो त इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा भयो, सिकाएँ नि मैले यसैमा के हुन्छ यो सार्नु। So you should know what to copy, what not to copy. So she brings, and we call this support as authority. We call it authority. Normally, writers bring authority from scholarly sources. For example, if you see paragraph 5, she brings the first authority in paragraph 5, that is Cicela book. And she also refers a book, Exploring Happiness. And what is the main idea then? What is she saying from this source? Paragraph 5, can moral and ethical life contribute to happiness? This question she raises. And she hints that yes, if we are living a very moral life, we are not doing anything wrong. An ethical life, right and wrong, we avoid doing wrong things, we do right things, then it may give us happiness. Number 6, she brings a second authority. She brings more than 6-7 authorities, resources, like Martin Seligman. So what does he say? Seligman defines happiness in 3 ways. He says happiness is living a pleasant life, good life, and meaningful life. Now if you go back to the paragraph in the essay, you will see the details. For example, Martin Seligman tells exactly what these things are. What is pleasant life, he says, like fun, delicious food, friends, taking time to savor by mindful attention can enhance. This is pleasant life, she defines. So I won't go in detail. You read if you want to. If you don't want to, don't read. Your choice, right? So now we move to number 7. And what do we see in 7? She says, what makes me happy? And she says, I feel happy if I wake up early and drink coffee and write in my journal. Then from paragraph 8, she introduces a case, an example about happiness. She talks about Bhutan. So in paragraph 8, she introduces the country very briefly. She says it's a mountainous country, landlocked country, right? Mainly Buddhist country between India and China. In paragraph 9, she talks about Bhutanese happiness questionnaire. She says that Bhutanese government uses a questionnaire for a survey after every certain time. Citizens fill up the form and they submit. And using the data they find out. And she says that this questionnaire mainly has questions about health and self-confidence. The questionnaire also has questions about spirituality, meditation. It has questions about historical literacy, civic literacy, cultural literacy, ecological literacy. So you will see paragraph 8 to 10, 8, 9, 10. 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 paragraphs deal with Bhutanese case. They talk about the questionnaire, right? But then in paragraph 12, she says, if according to the survey Bhutan was really a happy country, why there are ethnic conflicts? Why there is ethnic cleansing? Why are they expelling Nepalese people, and why Nepali Bhutanese are coming to Seattle, America as refugees? So she is criticizing, she is rejecting the idea that Bhutan is a happy country, right? Then if you go to paragraph 13, now she talks about United Nations resolution on happiness that was sponsored by Bhutan. When? In 2011. And she says that because of this resolution, Global Happiness Council was formed in 2017. Why this paragraph is important? Because Global Happiness Council describes factors that affect happiness. What determines whether you will be happy or not? What are these factors? Economic prosperity. This is important, you should keep in mind. There may be a long question, long answer question, right? Economic prosperity, physical and mental health of the citizen, freedom of the individuals to make key life decisions, strong social support network, shared public values of generosity and social trust. So this paragraph 13 is important. It talks about what? Global Happiness Council and the factors that contribute to happiness. Then we move on to paragraph 14. She says that Finland was the happiest country in 2018. And she says America was far behind in the list. Paragraph 15, she brings third authority, Gretchen Rubin, where he says that clutter causes unhappiness. Clutter means, throwing items wherever they are in your home, not putting things in proper places, right? Paragraph 16, there's a spelling error here. She says, whenever I have too much tasks to do, I don't get time to clean my home. So when there is too much work for me, it causes stress. And when I'm stressed, my house is cluttered. I can't clean, I don't clean. Paragraph 17 says that, what is happiness? Clean your room, you'll feel nice. Clean your home, clean your floors, scrub, clean the toilet, clean the staircase, clean the surrounding. You'll feel happy. That cleanliness brings happiness, right? Then live in spare. What is living in spare? Use minimum items. Use minimum goods, minimum clothes, minimum things, right? And live in art, illuminated rooms. Your rooms don't have to be expensive, but you can decorate them, design them, right? So this makes happy. Then 18, she comes to that economic factor. She says, yes, money is sweet, no doubt. It's a long paragraph where she gives example what happens when you have money and what happens when you don't have money, right? So she agrees that yes, money is a factor for happiness, no doubt. But it's not only money that makes you happy. Without money, every need becomes a pain. Now, I got pneumonia because of riding my motorcycle throughout the winter season. Now I know that I should buy a car to avoid getting exposed to cold. Now coming next semester will be the cold season. Now I don't have the money to buy a car. So I feel painful for not having money. Right? I know I need a car. And I also know the bitter truth, I don't have the money to buy the car. So what is unhappiness? Unhappiness is you have a need and you have no pain, you have no money for that. And when you don't have any money, every need becomes a pain. I'm hungry, I check, I don't have my wallet, I have no money, I can't eat in restaurant, that becomes a pain because the hunger becomes pain, right? But after 20, she says that when you are poor, and then life becomes more miserable. life becomes more miserable. And she says that we shouldn't be greedy because nothing can satisfy greed, and greedy people can never be happy. 20. Now 21. According to World Happiness Report, again she comes back to World Happiness, she says America is not happy. She does not say directly, but we can understand her point. Because why? Then she spent some paragraphs about America, because this essay is for American situation, for American audience. So she says most Americans suffer from obesity, becoming fat, because they eat lower quality kind of things. They eat a lot of sugar. American medicine companies, she says, they market drugs. They promote drugs, right? Americans suffer from depression, she says. And then again she comes back to World Happiness Report 2018, which says that American political system has failed to address and understand America's growing social crisis. Many Americans are committing suicide, she says, right? And politicians are not addressing this issue. Then paragraph 26, she says that she talks about personal happiness. Personal happiness, happiness in your personal life, not social life, not public life. Happiness when happiness you feel when you are alone. She says that personal happiness comes being outdoor in nature. Go for hiking, go for a picnic, go for walking in nature. When you are amid trees, among trees, under a flowering tree, then she says that I feel happy when I am outdoor, right? Then again in paragraph 28, she brings another source, another authority, Ben Shahar, right, who talks about time affluence. Happiness is having a lot of free time. Happiness is when you are not pressed of time. Having a lot of free time, when you have no appointments, no duties, no task, when you can sleep if you want to, when you can do whatever you want. That is what happiness is, right? Then in paragraph 29, she says that if we consider statistics data, it shows that Americans are not happy. Why are they not happy? Then she again delves this issue, because you will see that a number of maybe 10, 12 paragraphs deal with American scenario, because this essay is about America. So in paragraph 29 to 30, she says that why Americans are not happy? Because they work crazy long hours. I call my son, he has holidays, weekend holidays, Saturday, Sunday. And I say, Bida sa ramaile hola ni? He says, कहाँ रमाइलो बुवा, बिदा त झन् बर्बाद हुन्छ, बिदामा त सबै काम हुन्छ, के काम हुन्छ, प्रोफेसरले यति काम दिन्छ कि रात दिन नसुत्दा नि भ्याउँदैन। He says, के काम दिन्छ, कपी चेक गर भन्छ, के गर भन्छ। He is a TA. He works as a TA to pay his fee, right? आफ्नो काम गर्नु पर्यो. Then she says that weekends are busier than other days, right? So working crazy long hours. And then he says that, for example, they send and receive work emails during home hour. What is happiness? When you are at home, you don't have to do office work. But Americans do office work from home, right? There is no required parental leave in America. Your wife may have delivered a baby. You are a husband. You want to stay home and support her. But you don't get parental leave. In Nepal you get. Wife gets 6 months leave, I guess. Husband gets, I don't know exact time, but they get, right? One province, Lumbini, I guess, they provide menstruation leave every month for 4 days to female officials, right? In the case of holidays, Nepal is very good, right? They have a lot of holidays, right? Okay. American workers eat lunch at work because there's no time. And they eat lunch while working on the computer screen. There is little vacation time. There are deadlines, right? American workplace is very taxing, very pressing, full of pressure. So from paragraph 36 to 29. 29 to 36, these paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs. They discuss American scenario, right? Look, I can teach you this way because I read the essay yesterday. I made notes. So I know what is where. You don't know because you didn't read. And you won't read, I know. You won't read. Okay, now 37. She says that I'm also American and I realize that I have the habit of chronic overwork. I do a lot of work like every American. And she says that though I overwork, but I don't have enough money to have choice in my life. Having choice in your life means you have so much money that you can choose. Shall I buy this car, that car, that car? In my case, I have no choice. I can't buy the car. Leave the question of choice. Right? Choice. You go to restaurant, you choose. Shall I eat this item, this item, this? You can choose. Because your pocket is full of money. But she says, I'm a writer, I'm a teacher. I teach writing. And I work a lot. Much work. But I don't have enough money to have choice in my life. And she says, I'm 75. Look, when she wrote this essay, she's 75. And she says that I have social security, but still I can't afford not to work. The money that she gets from social security is not enough. Now Donald Trump is trying to scrap social security also, because he says that many people get this security because even after their death, right? Read the news about what Elon Musk is saying. 39, okay. So at age 75, she is working to survive. The writer is ready to dump. This is a spelling error here. It's dump. Dump her habit of. She says, now after writing this essay, I realized that I should change my habit. So I hope soon I'll stop overworking, right? She says that happiness is being frank. Happiness is not pretending, not wearing a mask. मान्छेहरु हुन्छ नि भित्रबाट बाहिर अर्को बोल्ने. That's not happiness. The happiness is भित्र चाहिँ बाहिर त्यही, being very open, transparent. For example, she says that when I see sappy sentiments, there is a spelling error, on social media, I don't feel good, and I'm grumpy. Grumpy means to be slightly angry, slightly irritated. She prefers being truthful, even if it hurts people. She doesn't like to sugarcoat. Asking hard questions. Happiness is raising finger. When that policeman goes to Ravi Lami Chane's home and says, "Tapaiko अन्तिम इच्छा के हो?" You raise a question. अघि आउँदा मलाई मनमा आइरहेको थियो कि मैले बाटोमा कुनै प्रहरी भेट्टाएँ भने बाइक रोक्छु, अगाडि जान्छु र के भन्छु प्रहरीलाई, "I hate you." र प्रहरीले किन सोध्यो भने तपाईँ कस्तो नालायक मान्छे, नागरिकको घरमा राति छिर्नुहुन्छ बुट लगाएर, अनि नागरिकले तपाईँको अन्तिम इच्छा सुन्दै यो तपाईँले सिकेको, यो तपाईँको सभ्यता. I said I'll say this, luckily I got no policeman on the way. र आज दिनभरिमा यति रिसाएपछि मैले भेटाएँ भने भन्छु गएर, मलाई डर लाग्दैन, मैले कुनै क्राइम गरिरहेन के को डर. प्रहरीले नागरिकको घरमा गएर अन्तिम इच्छा सोध्ने हो, यो पोलिटिकल व्यवस्था नेपालको. मलाई त शङ्का लाग्छ त्यो प्रहरी चाहिँ केही खाएको थियो कि भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई. आँखा निधार त्यो भिडियो हेर्नुहोस् न एकचोटि, तपाईँ मिडियामा त्यो भिडियो प्ले गरेर हेर्नुहोस् त, ध्यान दिएर जुम गरेर. त्यो प्रहरी तल भराङमा उभिया छ, अरू प्रहरीहरू रिल्याक्स मुडमा देखिन्छन्. उसको यो पुरा यो आइब्रो खुम्चिएको छ, यहाँ टेन्स छ एकदमै. त्यस्तो कस बेला हुन्छ मान्छे, हल्का केही ड्रिङ्क गऱ्यो भने हुन्छ. म आरोप लगाइरहेको छैन प्रहरीमाथि, तर मलाई शङ्का लाग्यो कि त्यो प्रहरीको अनयुजुअल बिहेभियर देखेर इट वाज नट ए नर्मल पोजिसन. कस्तो राज्य हो, कस्तो व्यवस्था हो जहाँ प्रहरीको त्यत्रो उच्च अधिकारी चाहिँ एकदमै कस्तो अवस्थामा अर्काको घरमा छिर्छ र अन्तिम इच्छा सोध्छ. उसँग अरेस्ट गर्ने कागज पनि थिएन, अरेस्ट गर्ने अथोरिटी पनि थिएन. He had no authority to arrest him. And he went. So you should raise hard questions. Hey, policeman, why did you do that? म आज भन्छु पख्नु न मैले कहीँ प्रहरी भेट्टाएँ भने म भन्छु प्रहरीलाई आज दिनभरिमा उभिएर तपाईँले किन यसो गरेको भनेर अनि प्रश्नमा आई हेट यु भन्छु प्रहरीलाई अस्ति एकजनालाई भने मैले एउटा बाइकवालालाई चाहिँ त्यो रेड लाइटमा छिर्यो भएर पर्ची काटिरहेको थियो यतापट्टि त्यो सडक बनाएको थियो भर्खरै अनि त्यो डिभाइडर लाइनमा त्यो पेन्ट गरेको थियो मैले भने यो पेन्ट हेर्नुहोस् त रिसायो यो उक्किसक्यो नि यो हिजो लगाएको आज उक्क्यो किन यो डुप्लिकेट पेन्ट हो यो मान्छेले रेड लाइटमा छिर्यो तपाईँले पर्ची काट्नुहुन्छ ऊ एक्लै छ यो ठेकेदारलाई के गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ उसले के भन्यो मेरो काम हो भन्यो तपाईँ काम होइन थाहा छ मलाई त जसको मैले गर्न सक्दैन किन ऊ ठेकेदार के छ उसले मन्त्रीलाई घुस खुवाउँछ र न सडकमा चाहिँ हल्का पेन्ट लगाउन सक्छ हाकिमलाई घुस खुवाएर नभए कसरी सक्छ त यदि घुसको काम भएको छैन भ्रष्टाचार भएको छैन भने कसरी त्यो चाहिँ लो क्वालिटीको पेन्ट सडकमा हुन सक्छ त सो यु शुड आस्क हार्ड क्वेसन्स टु योर रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ्स इन द पार्लियामेन्ट टु द मिनिस्टर्स टु द अफिसियल्स टु द वडा कार्यालय पिपल यु शुड गो एन्ड रेज अ क्वेसन रेज योर फिङ्गर always raise your finger and ask a question यो किन यस्तो गरेको right so happiness is asking hard questions and having authentic connections have real people in life connections right the writer prefers being frank and truthful she says in paragraph 44 she says she talks about positive psychology and she says that happiness is developing positive framework, positive attitude, positive mind. You take everything positively, right? Being optimistic. Then she says that when you are very positive by nature, then your immune system is very strong. You don't get diseases, right? It supports better health and you live longer years. I do agree. My father is 90. One reason I find he is very positive. He never has negative thoughts. Right? One experiment shows that when cancer patients were positive, they lived longer. Right? But then she criticizes this idea. She says that this is shaky and questionable idea. There is no proof. Scientific proof. Though psychology says this thing, psychologists say that if you are optimistic, positive, you live longer. But science doesn't back up. Then she says that happiness is improving life conditions. Happiness is improving life conditions. घरमा प्यान थियो टोयजना गाह्रो भइरहेको थियो मलाई त इजी लाग्छ अरू कसैलाई परिवारलाई भएन गुणा दुख्यो मोटापा बढ्यो प्यानमा बस्न मिलेन फेरि नि भने म मानेको थिएन सुरुमा बनाइसकेको छ बनाएको 20 वर्ष भयो घर बनाएको कता फुटाल्ने हैन गाह्रो भयो भने मान्छे लिएर आए 1 लाख भन्दा बढी खर्च भयो दुवै टोयलेटलाई 1 लाख त लायो त्यो प्यान फुटाल्नु पर्यो टाइल सबै फुटाल्नु पर्यो सबै सफा गर्नु पर्यो फेरि त्यो तलबाटै बनाउनु पर्यो फेरि त्यो कमोड ल्याउनु पर्यो आमामा कमोडै कति महँगो बट आई एम ह्याप्पी नाउ व्हाई बिकज द कन्डिसन इज गुड अब सजिलो लाग्यो पहिलो ह्याप्पिनेस मैले के देखेँ पहिला त प्यान हुँदाखेरि टोयलेटमा खेल्दै पानी बढी पोखिन्थ्यो हरेकपल्ट पानी पखाल्नु पर्यो नि त प्यानमा अनि त्यो पानी कहाँ पुग्यो पुरै फैलिने अनि त्यो पानी फैलिएर चुहेर त भर्याङमा चाहिँ चिसो निस्किने अहिले कमोड हालेपछि के भयो बाहिर कति पनि पानी पोख्दैन टोयलेट बाथरुम सबै एकदमै ड्राई हुन्छ यता भर्याङमा चाहिँ चिसो आउन बन्द भयो ह्याप्पिनेस इज इम्प्रुभिङ लिभिङ कन्डिसन्स आई गिभ एन एक्जाम्पल फ्रम माई लाइफ when you improve your living conditions life conditions you become happy right happiness is not ignoring reality around you do not ignore reality I told you I will raise finger to the policeman why because I feel I must stand against that kind of thing right so we should not ignore our happiness is being aware of your own feeling. If you are angry, be aware that you are angry. If you are sad, be aware and improve that. Happiness is being aware about your own feelings. Right? That's what happiness is. 48. Okay. So now she says that positive psychology from paragraph, she talks about positive psychology from, paragraph 44. Priscilla Long talks about positive psychology from 44 to 49. These 5 paragraphs talk about positive psychology. When you summarize like this, look how easy it is to discuss. How easy it is to make references and talk about the essay. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs talk about positive psychology. And then she says that positive psychology is criticized for promoting status quo. Status quo, according to positive psychology, you should take everything positively. If you take everything positively, you won't raise fingers. पुलिसले रविलाई चाहिँ अन्तिम इच्छा सोध्यो, केही छैन, ठिकै छ, अब के हुन्छ, I will ignore it. प्रहरी भोलि मेरो घरमा आएर अन्तिम इच्छा सोध्छ फेरि, उसले त्यही सिक्छ नि त, जे गरे नि हुन्छ भनेर. That police officer should be made accountable for his behavior. मैले कुनै रङ गरेँ तपाईलाई भने मैले अकाउन्टेबल हुनु पर्दैन? पर्छ नि. Accountability is the foundation of democracy. People who have power, they are accountable. But that policeman is not accountable. Right? He is not made accountable. So, status quo means let it go. Let it go. Why to question? Why to raise finger? Why to take trouble? Why to complain? Don't complain. Now, when you have this attitude, let it go attitude, why to complain attitude, it's all right attitude, के फरक पर्छ attitude, then wrong things continue in the society. Wrong things continue. ए प्रायले टङ स्लिप भयो होला भइगयो भने, no, कसरी टङ स्लिप हुन्छ? Right? Raise questions. The writer does not support status quo. She says, I'm not supporting status quo. I'm in favor of improving society. Working towards and achieving goals. What is happiness? You have goal in life, like Dawn by Phil Knight. Have a crazy idea. It will make you happy. What's your goal? If you have no goal, you are unhappy in life. If you have a goal, घरमा लेखा छ भित्तामा, सुत्ने बेडरुममा. After 5 years, I'll be here at this position. Every day it inspires you. हिजो मैले छोरालाई सोधेँ, तिमी के पढ्छौ? म सोच्छु बेला बेला इन्डस्ट्रियल इन्जिनियरिङ पढ्छु भन्यो. के हो त्यो भनेको? बतायो उसले. अनि यो पढ्यो भने जागिरी पाउँछ? फादरको कन्सर्न. पाउँछ भयो, राम्रो पाउँछ. द्याट्स ह्याप्पिनेस. हि नोज मैले यो पढिरहेको छु. कहाँ पाउँछ भनेर सोधेँ. जन डियर फ्याक्ट्री पाउन सक्छ फर इक्जाम्पल भन्यो उसले. त्यो ट्र्याक्टर भन्छ, जन डियर ट्र्याक्टर. मोन्सान्टोमा पाउँछ भन्छ, यहाँ पाउँछ भन्छ. अनि मैले अहिलेसम्म अमेरिकामा चाहिँ मास्टर्स गरेर जागिर नपाएको मैले कोही देखाएको छैन भयो, 5 वर्ष भयो, सबैले पाइरहेको मैले पनि पाउँछु भन्छ. द्याट्स ह्याप्पिनेस. हि हेज अ गोल. यदि पढ्छु, यहाँ पास गर्छु, यो डिग्री लिन्छु, यहाँ जान्छु. यु हेभ अ गोल. मैले तपाईँसँग किन कथा सेयर गरेँ? टु इन्सपायर यु हेभ अ गोल. BBA पास गर्छु, MBA यहाँबाट गर्छु, होइन, यो विषयमा MBA गर्छु, अनि यहाँ काम गर्छु. हेभ अ गोल. द्याट्स वाट मेक्स यु ह्याप्पी. ह्याभिङ गोल and working towards them to achieve them. Look, Phil Knight has this goal, crazy idea, I'll open a shoe company. And he works towards it. He does not sleep. First 10 page man. How impatient he is. How uncomfortable he is unless he gets that goal. Right? Love also may bring happiness. She says, love, true love. What is, she says that love can bring happiness when you love someone and you know that people love you. It's reciprocal. When you are loved by someone and when you love someone genuinely without any selfishness, that brings happiness. Then again in paragraph 53 she brings another reference, Buddhist Matthew Ricard. She says that obsessive desire can make us unhappy. Having too many desires. You will be crying because you can't get everything. Right? Having excessive desire can degrade affection, tenderness, and joy of appreciating, sharing life to another. So don't have too many desires. Minimize your desires. Right? The writer has experienced obsessive. She says, I have obsessive desire. I have experienced agony of love, misery of love, craving. What is craving? Nayama malai teikidi chahiye song is craving. Have you heard that song on Nepal television? Very old song. But these days also they sing. Right? No, I need that. Craving. Craving is, you young people crave for ice cream, I know. Sugar. Craving for sugar. Craving for chocolate. You will quarrel if you don't get the chocolate. Craving. Strong desire for something. Delirium. If craving increases, you show unusual behavior. Delusion, you collapse. Obsessive desire does not make for happiness. So please do not have obsessive desire. What is obsession? Obsession is, I can't live without this. I'll die if I don't get it. That is obsession. If you have this attitude, I will die if I don't get this. Whether this is girl, this is boy, this is copy, this book, this car, nothing. Then you will never be happy. If you can't get something, learn to live without it. Why should you cry for it? Right? All we need for being happy is loving and being loved, as I said. Then she says that she agrees, even my happiest memories are filled with love. And she talks about how she went on dating in Italy or somewhere with her boyfriend. Right? Then another happiness is attending community activities. Go in jatras. If you are Nevar and if in your toll somebody has organized a program, attend that. Participate in it. In celebrations, festivals, Holi, go and use color and enjoy. So go to community, go to old age house, help them. Right? Then celebrate in participations. Sorry, tongue slip. Participate in celebrations, right? I said celebrate in participation. How easily the tongue slips, right? Like she gives an example on National Day, 4th of July, she goes for celebration. She gives another example of celebrating opening of the bridge. So whenever there are programs, go, participate in them, enjoy. 60, don't stay all the time at home. So then in 61 paragraph she says that cities also can bring happiness, like Kathmandu city. What should they do? For example, they should make bigger roads in new road. You saw last time how much quarrel there was for expanding the pathway, sideway, and now it looks beautiful, right? The color of the new road houses, white and green, look. So cities should plant more trees, use a smart technology. City, if municipality can improve physical facilities, it may bring happiness to people living there. For she gives example that the city of Seattle is planting more trees, creating more bike lanes and more pedestrian paths for people who walk. Then she says that what makes us unhappy? Dangerous events makes us unhappy. When a policeman comes to our home at night and says, "Tabaigo antim ichha kyo?" This makes us unhappy. Right? Injustice, that is injustice. When Ravi Lamichhane says, "Malai pakrau garne purji cha," the policeman is answerless. He has no court order to arrest Ravi Lamichhane. Right? Then he writes a court order. That's the wrong thing. He has no authority to use that article to arrest him, but he arrests. That is injustice. Incarceration, firing. This is summer season. You can see mountains, jungles are on fire. Right? Shooting. You saw last time. Chaitra 15, 16, I don't know that, how people shot Revika Khatri, a BBIS student, who was not participating in anything. She was going home. How they shot her brother. How the correspondent from AB News Television lost his life. He was burnt alive. How something Maharjan from Kirtipur lost his life. Shooting and beating. You saw the photo videos, see how Nepali police beats its citizens. Right? In America, makes Americans unhappy, makes Nepalese unhappy. You can read this line for Nepal. So what Priscilla Long writes about America is very true about Nepal, because Nepal is also having same situation. In America, many people are punished for crimes they did not commit. Punished for crimes. Rebecca didn't commit the crime, and now she is punished. Her brother didn't commit the crime. They were not participating in the agitations. Right? Gives example of Viktor Frankl, another example, who was tortured by the Nazis. Crime, being punished for crime that they didn't commit. Then she says that happiness is also taking a course in mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Paying true attention to what you're doing. Being aware about yourself. Being aware about yourself and being very aware what you're doing. 66. So she says, I took a course in mindfulness that gave me happiness. The worst unhappiness of Ryder's life was when November 10, 1986, hunters discovered the skeleton of her sister who had committed suicide. So some hunters dug the ground and they took the body of her sister from the ground. And she says, that was the very sad moment for me to know that they did that heinous thing. Right? Her sister had committed suicide. Nothing is unending. Unhappiness also comes to an end. Milarepa, the famous Buddhist monk, said that all good things in life come to an end. All good things in life come to an end. So we should be ready that if we have something good, it will come to an end. Right? Your youth will come to an end. I was like you. I was shining like that girl over there. Bright, healthy, full of vigor. And look now, my hair is grey. My youth is gone. After 50 years from now, it'll be 70, maybe 71. Right? So everything in life comes to an end. Life has both happiness and suffering, and accept it. Life has both happiness and accept it. Don't expect to be happy all the time. Be ready for suffering also. Right? I used to say, I'm never sick. And look, last time I fell sick. Happiness for the writer is being part of something larger than what is happiness? Involved in an activity, something, and be engrossed in it. What is engrossed? You do the activity with such sincerity that you forget yourself. When I teach, I forget my family. When I teach, I forget my children. When I teach, I forget myself. I'm engrossed in teaching because I love teaching. So find a job that you really like and do it so sincerely that you forget yourself. That is what brings happiness. Right? Then she says that we can be happy and we should choose to be happy. This was the third question she asked. Third or second, I forgot in the very beginning. Now she answers, yes, we can be happy if we want to be. Last paragraph is very important. I'll go to the paragraph itself and then read the paragraph. The original text. The last paragraph is very powerful. With that, she closes the essay. Here we are. Last paragraph, 71 paragraph. Can we choose to be happy? Should we choose to be happy? I mean happiness of the sort that emerges from an inner state. So she concludes that happiness is a state of mind, inner state of mind from a spirit that can't be broken. What is happiness? You are so courageous, nobody can break you down. That is happiness. कसैले तपाईँलाई चाहिँ ब्रेक डाउन गर्न सक्दैन. तपाईँमा त्यति आँट छ, साहस छ. That is happiness. Spirit that can't be broken. From a sense of self-worth, happiness is you have the feeling, I am a very good person. I am great. I can do great. I am good. Nothing is bad with me. म खराब छैन, म ठिक छु. Very aware. कुनै खराब काम गर्नुभयो, you are aware. ओ मैले यो काम गर्नु हुँदैन थियो, गर्नु हुँदैन, अब गर्दिन. You told a lie, you say no, I shouldn't tell a lie. You are very aware. And you feel that I am a very good person. That is what brings happiness. Would choosing to be happy help to heal our broken, violent, dying world? Look, she says our world is broken. Our world is violent. Nepal is broken. Nepal is violent. Nepal is dying. And now she says we must choose to be happy if we want to save the world. We must choose to be happy if we want to save the Nepal as a country. Last paragraph. If we cultivate peace of mind, what is happiness? Cultivating peace of mind. Cultivating means developing a habit of being peaceful, not aggressive, not agitating. If we cultivate peace of mind, if we cultivate kindness, that makes us happy. If we cultivate compassion, unlimited love for things and people, that makes us happy. If we cultivate respect for others, Rabi Lamisan in that video says to the policeman, तपाईले यही अरेस्ट गर्ने काम respectfully गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ नि, he says to the policeman. If you listen very carefully, he says तपाईँ अरेस्ट गर्न आउनु भएको छ, मैले अरेस्ट दिन्छु भनेर रेडी भएर बसिरहेको छु, म कहीँ भागेको छैन, भागिरहेको छैन, म ओपनली मैले दिन्छु भनिरहेको छु, त you can arrest me respectfully. तपाईँले त्यो फेस बनाउनु पर्छ, he says. फेस बनाउनु पर्छ भने त्यो तपाईँको अन्तिम इच्छा भन्ने प्रहरीको फेस हेर्नु होला त भिडियोमा, एकदमै रिसाएर हुन्छ कि, पुरा त रिसाएर निधार खुम्चेर यस्तो गरिरहेको हुन्छ उसले. अनि रवि लामिछाने चाहिँ त्यो फेस बनाउनु पर्छ, तपाईँले यही अरेस्ट विथ रेस्पेक्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ नि. द्याट इज वाट ह्याप्पिनेस इज, रेस्पेक्ट पिपल. उसलाई त अदालतले समात्नु भने नि उसलाई त दोषी करार त दिएको छैन नि त, मुद्दा पो चलिरहेछ त. उसलाई इन्डाइक्ट त गरेको छैन नि. इन्डाइक्ट भनेको फैसला गर्नु, तपाईँ दोषी हो, जेल जानु भएर आरोपी हो नि उ त. But look the treatment the police does. Respect for others and respect for the earth. Respect the environment. Respect trees. Respect rivers. Don't pollute them. Would that be of use as we endeavor to increase our own happiness and that of our community? See, it's not enough that you are happy. You should also make your community happy. Because when you make other people happy, you get happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is giving happiness. Happiness is giving happiness. तपाईले कसैले केही गर्नुभयो, हेल्प गर्नुभयो, पैसा दिनुभयो, खान दिनुभयो, लुगा दिनुभयो, चोट लाग्यो, हेल्प गर्नुभयो, that's what happiness is. And our world, I think it would. So these last two paragraphs are very powerful. And they tell what is happiness in truth. So this essay started with the question, what is happiness? And here we have the answer. This is happiness. Right? We have 10 minute time. Now take your pen and copy, new page. For 10 minutes, write whatever you recall from this class. For 10 minutes, write whatever you recall from this class on the topic, what is happiness? You don't have to be correct, you just write. The rule is write as fast as possible, please. Write whatever comes in your mind on the topic of happiness that we read in this class. Thank you. Keep writing. Keep writing.